Hey, what's up? It's JusNik, WBLS, and I am back with New Music Monday, and I'm honored to sit down with one of the most exciting voices in modern R&B and soul, and I'm here with the amazing Elmiene. Hello.
What's good? What's good? Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming all the way from London.
Yes.
So,
Weirdly enough, from South Africa this time around.
wow. Tell me more about your upbringing.
Oh, my upbringing is, how do I describe it? I would say there's a lot of blessings and a lot of downsides, I guess, but that's to all of us. But I grew up in Oxford. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany,
Wow.
and I'm originally Sudanese. My family's from Sudan. They moved to Germany, and then when I was 5, we moved to Oxford. And Oxford is, I always say Oxford is what Americans think England looks like. And it is exactly like the old buildings. I grew up in a house that was built in like 1883. Like the history, the university, I remember the park I used to hang out at, because the River Thames goes through Oxford, was where like there's a church where the creator of Alice in Wonderland wrote it there. Like all this like deep history
Wow.
is in Oxford. I credit a lot of that to what I ended up doing, but my music life kind of started with me being obsessed with, my older cousin showed me a bunch of music, like 2006. It was like, where was the Craig David, Usher, the T-Pains, all of that. That kind of started my love for music. And then I'm a massive nerd by nature and blood and bone. So my immediate next thought was, well, who came before this person?
Yes.
Let me listen to the first Usher albums. Wait, what's this? Go back. Oh, what's this? What's this? Is that like an Isley Brothers sample on this Usher song on My Way? Oh, let me go back and did it. And it
Wow.
kind of kept going like that until suddenly I realized I was in the 70s and I was a Stevie. And then it's just, you can imagine from there where it kind of all went. But in Oxford with no one else to really talk about all this music, because no one who was 14 in 2014, really.
Right. So what do they normally listen to?
It was like J Hus, the rappers from back in London, like Gigs, whatever was cool at the time. But like they weren't really worried. I remember even one time I was singing Can You Handle It by Usher
Wow.
in the playground.
In the playground is crazy.
And my boy came and he was like, man, how'd you know that Nines song? Nines is a rapper from the UK. I was like, what are you talking about? It turns out Nines had sampled Can You Handle It?
Wow.
But I was there like, nah, man, you don't even know. Sound like an old head immediately. I'm 13 years old. I'm like, nah, man, this is an Usher song from this Confession, 2004. Da, 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 da. But that was kind of my relationship with a lot of my friends, was basically me being like, you guys don't even know about music. I'm here listening to Jodeci. And they're like, what the hell is a Jodeci? And then Drake would sample Jodeci and they'll go, oh, cool, that's the thing you were talking about all those years. I'm like, yeah, man, this is the whole. So it's been a struggle, but a blessing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it became a treasure of mine. Like R&B was this like thing that only I had and no one around me understood. It was like, oh man, I love H-Town. No one else. And I used to play this game where I would go to certain streets in Oxford and I'd play songs and I'd be like, I'm the first in the history of humankind to play Knocking the Boots in this alleyway in Oxford by the Oxford University. No one in history has ever done this before, I'm sure. Or I'll be like, no one else has played They Like It Slow by H-Town in this park, in this bench. And that was like my little way of like, so I don't know how, getting back at the world or something, but it was part of my upbringing.
I love that. And you're naming some really good classic sleeper songs people might have forgot about.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was obsessed with. That's the thing, is because it was a treasure of mine, I was like, this is just mine for me.
You're in your own little world.
My own little world. I used to look out for people that appreciated said music because I didn't have it around me. So the way I discovered a lot of the music that I love now was through covers on YouTube. So I would find like someone who could have like 100 or something views, someone from like Oklahoma, singing a Drew Hill song. And then that would lead me down another rabbit hole and I'd be like, oh, what's this song? And I'd hear the person's cover at first. I go, that sounds kind of cool. They kind of butchered it a little bit. What's the original? And I'd go and find the original. And then that's how slowly it's like, I suddenly discovered like Ideal. And then I discovered like, with Drew Hill, and then into like the Whitehead brother, or like whoever else is there that was coming, Silk, and then all because it was just like covers on This Way. And then I would listen to the Jodeci album, and then I'd go, what's around this? Oh, what's Mint Condition? And listen to that.
Yeah.
And then that was my age, from like age 12 to 18, 19, that was the only music I listened to because it was endless. It was like
Yeah.
no matter where I would look, there's another group I hadn't heard before.
Yeah.
No matter where I'd go, there's another song I hadn't heard before. And it kind of just kept going.
That was beautiful because they were all influenced by some really great musicians. And I mean, like musicians. So, what was the cover that got you discovered?
So, that storyline now, in context, it was, I think it's 2021 when I was in university and I sang the D'Angelo song, Untitled, How Does It Feel? That was a song that kind of changed my life because we recorded that cover just on a whim. Or my housemate just happened to have a Bose speaker and a microphone, and I'd never sang into a microphone before. So I was really excited. I was like, yeah, we can do reverb. Like, what's this? So we set the thing up and I had the reverb on. And I was like, oh my God, reverb. That means I can sing falsetto and it doesn't sound like boring. Like it has like the thing and it can like carry its own weight. So I was like, well, it has to be Untitled. Let's sing that one. Recorded it, went to bed, posted it on we had like a little account, which is what the Elmiene account is now, but it was just for family and friends. Like every couple months I'd post a video of me singing a song that I loved, Bill Withers or whatever. And I posted it there, and then the next morning it was viral.
The next morning,
like
crazy.
I woke up like 4 a.m. on like a standard, that horrible thing they do where the first thing you reach for desperately is your phone. I was looking for it at 4 a.m. I looked at my phone, which was notifications going. It was like this, and it was like Missy Elliott reposted this, and Questlove. I was like, what is happening? Mind you, like Questlove and the Soulquarians, the Roots, like they're my heroes. Like, I was like, what's going on? I had no interest in being a music artist whatsoever. I was going to be a security guard. That was my plan. I was just going to do uni. I did poetry in uni, but I knew that the poetry degree didn't mean anything really. So I was like, I'm probably going to be a security guard back home in Oxford. So no dreams. And suddenly your heroes are being like, whoa, who's this? It's like, what? What's happening? So from there, it kind of just, I realized, well, I guess I got to go to London because you're getting all these like people that say they're managers or whatever, just all these DMs, oh, this and that, and numbers and da-da-da-da. It's the worst and best time of your life when these things happen because it's just you don't know what's real.
Right.
Because you don't know that these things are possible. And it's kind of the quickest thing you have to learn to dismantle is like this imposter syndrome thing of like, oh, I don't know, like I guess anything's fine because who am I? Yeah. But you kind of quickly have to learn like, hold on, like let me figure out what my value is first. Like what?
Exactly.
What am I worth? Like, is this person pulling my leg or like is he really like being honest and truthful to what he's trying to do and da-da-da? But it was a good couple months and I kind of figured it out, found my management, and then from there the story kind of carries on. Started writing my first songs. And now we're here.
What did you learn in that process, right? Because there's a lot of talented singers who are probably getting discovered every day and they know nothing about the industry. So it's just like most people are just happy to be seen, right?
Yeah, right.
So what was that experience for you?
My experience, I think I lucked out, to be honest, because it is terrifying. Like I look back at it and I get chills and a bit of anxiety thinking about that time because you are only being shown love. So it's really hard to decipher and distinguish when everyone is saying positive things. No one's going to tell you like, I actually think this. So you can kind of go, okay, let me move that aside. Everyone is saying nice things. Everyone is saying good things. You have to then, your job is to decipher which of these seemingly all positive smiling faces are really truthful.
Right.
It's a headache
and has
a heartache.
Interest at heart, right?
Exactly. So it's all these dinners that you've never had before. Like you're a broke uni student, like single mum, like you don't know what's going on, and now you're here, like, yeah, we're gonna pay for all of this. Like, look at this. You can have this. Like I even have people that became. I don't really have a mentor in this game because my mom's Sudanese. Like, shit, I know. Like, none of my family are like, we know about music. So like, I remember one time some guy came in and was like, whatever you want, I'll give it to you now. I'll put an offer out. I was like, what are you talking about? And it was like, what do you want? And I knew this. Just from my heart, I knew something was off.
Yeah.
I didn't know how off it was. But like, obviously now, any advice to anyone doing this, if someone goes, what do you want?
Yeah.
Knowing that you have no idea what the industry is, they're trying to pull your leg.
Red flag.
And screw you over. Because I could have just said 10 grand or whatever, 500 pounds. And they would have been like, amazing, sign this deal. And you're off. They know when they put the ball in your court and they know you don't know anything, run away. But it is hard. You have to really understand yourself and know it's a people thing, all of it. So just you kind of have to know within your heart, like, okay, will I get along with this person? What are you really talking about?
Yeah.
What are we really conversing about? Beyond also just like, because I was excited because I hadn't talked to anyone that knew about my music before, even just someone knowing who Joe was massive. I'd be like, oh my God, you know Joe? And they'll be like, of course you know Joe. I grew up in the 90s. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we doing?
My
Like,
mind is just blown.
my mind is blown already. I'm like, this is bad. And I remember realizing once, I was like, I need to calm down. When someone mentions like just like Silk or something, I'm like losing my mind. I'm like, you need to really sit and figure out what's really going on. But it is a mega people thing. I got lucky, and my managers that I ended up trusting, the thing that swayed me in their way was the first thing they told me wasn't a deal or any sort of money. They said, we're going to spend a year so you can figure out your craft of writing music. Because, I hadn't written songs before that point.
But you were writing poetry, though.
I was writing poetry.
Did that help?
It definitely helped. But also the first task was, how do you take your poetry skills that I have and then blend it with the singing skills that I had, but writing melodies and writing songs is very different to writing poetry. The structure is very different. Yeah. So I had to really learn that. That was my first real task early on. But my managers at the time, who were to be my managers, they said, we're going to spend a year and we're going to put you with these people we trust and that I think love the same music that you do and come from the same heart and lineage, and you're going to learn. I was like, amazing. And I ended up spending a year, just like they said. We didn't really do much. We just spent a year of me just writing songs, and these people that I was with let me kind of just take the reins and go, yeah, go ahead, like do this. We're going to help cater to your creative needs and whatever you think you want to write. And that's how I ended up writing my first little project, Elmiene, was from that year of writing.
That's beautiful. I love that. And fast forward, you're here, right?
Yes.
But then taking it back to where you first heard your song, right? Louis Vuitton.
Yep.
Walk me through that. Because did somebody tell you? Like, how did you even find out?
That was mad. That was, so within that year of writing music, at the start of that year of me deciding I was going to do this, I had written one of my first songs called Golden with a very good friend of mine at the time who had just met, called Nan Hilner. And that was my first time. I remember when I walked in the studio session that day, I was like, Dan, I was like, yo, I'm going to try to write a song that is in the like general song structure of verse, pre-hook, bridge.
Shout out to the bridge.
And yeah, shout out to the bridge all the time. And then back to the hook, and we call it a day. Because at that point I was writing because I didn't know how to blend the things, I was writing like spoken word with a bit of a song and me singing a bit, and then I'm reading spoken word. It was all like very arty, like I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. So that day I was like, I'm going to write a proper song today. All melodies, all song. He was like, great. What do you want to write it like? What's your reference? And I was like, Africa by D'Angelo. We're going to do that. He was like, okay, amazing. We're going to do this. I wrote the song. And then it was maybe 3 weeks after that, I was in with a different producer called Lil Silver. We were just getting to know each other. We were an hour into us meeting, and he was like, play me the songs you have. And I had only written 4 songs at that point. One of them was Golden. But right before I played Golden, a friend of his had come in called Benji B. He was like, yo, what's good? What's happening? To Lil Silver. And Lil Silver was like, oh, this is Elmiene. I'm just meeting him for the first time. And Benji was like, oh, good to meet you. Don't let me interrupt what's going on. Carry on. So I pressed play on Golden. I didn't know at the time that Benji was the musical curator of Louis Vuitton for Virgil Abloh. He heard Golden. He was like, what is going on? What is this? And I was like, oh, really? Amazing. Great. Like, I'm glad you like it. And he was like, man, I'm going to go do this meeting over here, and I'm coming back to the studio. And from there, we really connected. And then it was a couple of weeks after that he then texted me, and he was like, hey, man, I want you to send me that song. I want to use it for the show me and Virgil are doing in Miami. I was like, amazing. Go ahead. And then the next day after that, Virgil passed away.
Right.
And I'd heard the news online, and I was like, oh, wow, what? This is crazy. I don't know what's going on. Like, I just sent this song to Benji, and I kind of text Benji. I was like, hey, man, like, I hope you're okay. I don't know what's going on. Like, what's happening? And he said, yeah, man, we're kind of dealing with it now, with what's going on. I'm going to keep you updated. Obviously, the plans are changing. We're all figuring it out. And it was 2 weeks after that where it turns out that they were going to do a tribute show to Virgil. Instead of the Miami show they changed it into a tribute show that was going to be in memory of his legacy. And Golden ended up being the song that was kind of the anthem for that. Because Golden, I wrote it about my grandma telling me about the golden days of Sudan, but it was this big ode to nostalgia and looking back at the past, which ended up aligning very much with a passing of someone, looking back at their golden moments and all the golden years of their life, and it all kind of happened. And Benji kind of texted me. I was like, man, we've all been listening to this song. It's been a massive help in us grieving over his loss and da-da-da. And then that's when the show, when it went live, I was watching and the golden song played. And from there, I was like, wow, no music out there. And at that point, I didn't know what Elmiene was, what was going on, but that was a real moment that kind of guided me into what it could be and what my music was going to be about. Like these moments of human connection and all of it happening, me being thankful for something I never even got to meet, and all these things that, like, Virgil was a massive part of why I'm even here, but I never really got to meet him or talk to him. All I really knew was that he approved of the song right before he passed away, and then he passed away. So I have no idea.
It's just crazy how that comes together in such a bittersweet, you know?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It is very interesting. It's bizarre. To this day, I kind of think back, like, man, that's, if I hadn't played the song then, or if I played it earlier,
Right.
instead of playing it last. Because initially I played it last because I was embarrassed of the song. Because a friend of mine said that they didn't like the song. They're like, oh, it sounds a bit cheesy.
What?
And me being a very beginner songwriter, 4 songs under my belt, I was like, well, I guess it's not a good song. I don't know. So I was embarrassed of it, which is why I played it last, which is why it happened to be. So I really, from that point, I remember that was another lesson I learned from that whole experience, was to really trust my instinct and always remember with my songs, remember how you felt like when you were writing it.
Yeah.
And don't doubt that feeling. No matter how eventually many opinions will come in about your music and with your friends, your family, people online, whatever it is, you have to remember what that pure first feeling was.
Yeah.
And if you loved it enough and put your heart into it, that there's something worth it. Even if you will, as you're human, will be skewed with people's opinions. Like, just always remember that thing was there. Because I learned, wow, man, if I didn't
I know, right?
play that song, then a lot of how my career ended up being might have never happened. I might have not been here.
Did he call you back and be like, oh, my bad, I was just kidding?
No.
I'm sure he's thinking that.
They felt really guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, amazing that this happened.
Right? Like, you were the one that being the naysayer, and it blew up.
It worked out. I'm even thankful that they made me play it last. If I wasn't embarrassed, I wouldn't have played it.
Wow.
When Benji walked in, so
you have more trust and faith in yourself for your abilities now, right?
absolutely. That was the moment that kind of started it. And then now me being, wow, it's been 5 years since then, almost. About 4 years and a bit. Yeah, it's crazy.
Does it feel like it went fast?
Very, very, very fast. Extremely fast. Yeah.
When you get busy, life just goes.
It just happens.
Where's the time?
It really does.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, I'd never been to America and I've never planned to go to America. And suddenly I've been here all the time. Suddenly you're moving and suddenly da-da-da. It's just a crazy life.
Wow.
It just topples on top of you.
So how did you get the name Elmiene?
Elmiene, my second name is, so my name is Abdullah Elmiene. But I like to say, do you know what I mean, a lot. So I just went Elmiene.
I love it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Elmiene?
Yeah, Elmiene.
It's just nice flow, nice alliteration.
It's so stupid. I would tell someone that story, they're like, are you serious? I'm like, no, I'm deadly serious. It was in the kitchen. And I was just like, well, I guess this is my name now. Because it was just for an Instagram account. That was just for no one but me. So that was how that name came to be. And now I'm known by it, which is insane. But yeah.
Yeah, that's cute. I'm loving all of this. So you get noticed. You have people who have validated, like Stevie Wonder. How, I mean, first of all, what was that like even meeting him, and then for him to just confirm, you know, how great of a singer you are?
I don't even know, man. He's my hero of all heroes. My phone cover, I've got to show the camera this way.
Is he on the phone cover?
Of course, but he's been my phone cover for like 8 years now. The song's In the Key of Life.
Wow.
That's been my phone cover forever. But yeah, he's the reason I believe good music exists. And I feel like everyone who has any worth to their musical taste has used him as their anchor. And I firmly believe that as long as I'm following in his footsteps, I'll be all right. So when I ended up meeting him and getting to talk to him, and he goes, yeah, man, I love that song, Lightwork. That song's amazing. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's happening? Like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, man. And his sons, one of his sons, Kwame, He's amazing. He was like, man, we love your music. We playing that out. I was like, what? The Wonders, the Morris family in name are fans of me. I was like, this is insane. And it all kind of, it's the biggest, again, like with the Golden thing, that being like a moment where I've learned to trust in myself. This is a moment where I'm like, okay, even more so than before. Because my only wish in all of this when I first started was I only wish to be part of the lineage of soul. That's all I want to be. I just wanted to be one day recognized as the next chapter of what has been. You know, from me to whatever, Frank or D'Angelo to the Jodeci's, to Sly Stone, to James Brown, to Stevie, Michael, Prince, like that lineage of like greatness that has come from there, from Little Richard all the way down to us. I wanted to be a part of that history. So when you're looking at Stevie or you're talking to Raphael Sadiq, who's a big collaborator of mine now,
Wow.
and you're like, man, that's Uncle Ray now? That's crazy. Like, what? You still kind of go in the studio every day. You're like, hold on, like, we're talking about croissants? Like, what's good? And you're like asking, I remember like walking in, obviously with Raphael Sadiq, he's one of my absolute heroes. I'm like nerding out, and you realize you kind of got to calm down. I'm like, oh, Ray. I was like, man, Ray, like when you and D'Angelo did that thing on the show, when you guys did Lady on the, he's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, this happened, and the day before that, this happened, and we were arguing about this. I was like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, it's amazing. It is really incredible. And it's the most reassuring thing that you're doing the right thing when you end up in rooms with these people, because it's all, I suppose it's not really intentional. I'm just making music and carrying on as I am. But to suddenly end up being like, man, you know what? I've walked in many rooms in my life, but suddenly I'm in the room with this person and we're just eating deviled eggs. Like, I must be doing something right.
That's called alignment and purpose. Yes. And what's meant for you is not going to miss you, because to think that all of this talent would just be suppressed in a security guard would be crazy. Like, what?
Hey, man. It's wild.
Yeah.
It is wild.
So now you have a project that you just put out last year. You got a new single. I will say one of my favorite songs is Crystal Tears.
Oh, thank you very much.
I mean, on repeat all the time.
Thank
the
you.
Vulnerability in your voice, it really pierces through the record.
Thank you.
And you can tell that you are influenced by the names you mentioned, because the runs, you know, just the way you set up your melodies is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was a really fun song to write. Yeah.
What was the motivation behind it?
That was me and D-Mile, absolutely incredible producer. Me and his relationship is really fun because we've not written very much, but we've written like, it's been like 3 sessions, 3 songs that I've ended up using, like just like 3 for 3, boom, boom, boom. But a part of it is that he makes the beat, I write the song, and we only meet back when we're both finished, that we're done. And then we come back in the middle, and then we go, okay, now that we're talking like this, what have we missed?
That's
okay,
interesting.
I don't really have it with anyone else, but it was really like, we literally both go into our own zones, and then it's like, okay, I'm writing, I'm doing this, and he's there, and I can overhear the guitar, and I'm kind of crafting my thing, and then when we come back, immediately start getting a booth, let's go.
Wow.
And Crystal Tears is probably one of the fastest songs I'd ever written, because it was just that process of like, wow, this is exciting. Like, to have someone that trusts your process, you can trust me to do my thing, amazing. Let's meet back in the middle in an hour and see what happens.
Wow.
And it was really fun. I mean, that was Crystal Tears. I ended up writing as a conceptual part 2 to one of our earlier songs, Mad at Fire. Where Mad at Fire was a song about me, basically Danelle Jones, where I want to be. Where I was like, oh yeah, like I'm trying to leave and it's not your fault and da-da-da-da-da. And then Crystal Tears was me writing the perspective of realizing that it was actually a mistake leaving and figuring out how do I fix what I've done already? Realizing maybe it's too late and that things will move on. This love, it goes on. I hear in your tone, I might be alone. Like that kind of feeling of realization that, yeah, I think I've done it now.
Your falsetto is just immaculate, sir.
Very much.
I'm just loving it. I go into another world when I hear your music. Literally, like, what is life? So how does Heat in the Streets differ from Marking My Time?
Heat the Streets is, I think, me and my team are our most like spontaneous, like Heat the Streets was like an accident record. It was in the midst of me writing my debut album. I realized I was writing more songs than I realized I would be. And my album is very personal. So when I'm writing those out songs, I was like, man, I want to break. I want to write more fun songs and kind of just go back into like this pocket of me that I'm not letting myself get into on my album, because it's my album. I'm talking about things. My father, like all these things I'm talking about. I was like, let me just do this because it'll be fun. And in like I think it was like in a week and a half, I'd written like 4 or 5 songs from Heat the Streets. I'd realized, hold on, I think this is another project that's occurring right now. And the concept behind the name was, if we want the album to hit how we want it to hit, we need to heat the streets first. Warm them up, get them ready. And that was what ended up becoming Heat the Streets. I mean, even like the lyrics in like a song like Useless, like it was just me just like having fun in between writing those songs. Like I took a shower with my clothes on, like, what are you talking about? And even like the process around the song was hilarious because it was me. I was in the studio, one of the keys, whatever. I was messing around. Oh, yeah. I took a shower with my clothes on. I was like, how stupid is that lyric? And then someone went, yo, no, like keep doing that. And even like the riff at the start of the song, I was like, what is that? I was messing around, just being like, that's some ridiculous, like stupid riff, extra as hell. And they're like, that's it.
That's you.
That's what we want on the thing. The yodeling stuff, we want that. But yes, Heat the Streets was that in comparison to Mark of My Time, which was very much more intentional, I suppose. It's more emotional and trying to be like in like Mark of My Time is a very, I don't know, a grown up record, I suppose one would say, in a different kind of way than Heat the Streets is just me being like, I'm just gonna have some fun with R&B. I'm just gonna do this. I'm trying to make like a Case song or like a Joe song or like just have a good time and see what comes from it. Miss Hot July, all these like song names that you would never see on the Mark of My Time record, but here it's okay because we're just heating the streets.
That's beautiful. And I love it because it's a testament to your growth and this journey. And then when you do your shows and they're sold out, more validation.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever had any insecurities, it should be out the door, you know?
Man. It's true. It's true. It's really fun. Especially like the live part of that's a whole different like blanket of security, you're right, in all of it. Because when you go on stage and people are singing these songs that you wrote in like a small room in a studio, you're like, oh, this is also what I'm doing this for. This is amazing. This is connected with this many people. These many people love this music or have felt an emotion towards it or like has related it to someone in their life. So yeah, it is really fun. Very big security, I'd say. Yeah.
Well, kudos. It's always about the journey, the process, you know, not necessarily the destination. And I think the sky's the limit for you.
Thank you.
Your voice is just amazing. So what can your fans expect from you moving forward?
Well, my single Reclusive comes out on the 15th, which is tomorrow, wherever that is, whenever this comes out, but it'll be out, I'm sure. And my album is coming on the 27th of March.
Is there a name or we gotta wait?
There is a name. The name of the album is Sounds for Someone. That is the name. Very inspired by Songs in the Key of Life. I was always very enamored by the name, where Songs in the Key of Life is very open and broad when it comes to, I mean, it's a genius name. Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah.
Anyone can apply themselves to this album. Sounds Someone is like that, where I was like, I'm sure I have a someone that I'm talking to particularly, but whoever that someone is, you can put it. It could be your cousin, your mom, your lover, your brother, all the above.
That's beautiful. And it probably sounds for the masses.
I hope
by
so.
this time it's over.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love your energy, your spirit. Reclusive, interesting, because you do feel a little introverted, but there's extrovertedness in it too.
Yeah, it's a mix of both. Reclusive was based on, I got really sick the year before last December. And I was just, in London, you can imagine, like, London winters are brutal and horrible. Rain, cold, snow, whatever you want to say.
Right.
But I was so sick I was going to leave the house for 14 days. And I was kind of losing my mind. And that was where the song kind of came from. I was like, man, even if I don't want to be a reclusive, I am now forced to be a recluse. And this is just what I'm doing. I have to live with it and
Yeah.
figure out what I'm gonna entertain myself with or what I'm gonna do or da da da. And there was just this one session where I was really hell-bent on writing an autobiographical song. Inspired by like you know, like Biz Markie did like Just a Friend. And I was like, man, that song's brilliant. It's just so simple. Just a story he's
Yeah.
telling. And I was like, well, what mundane thing in my life? Oh, when I was trapped for 14 days, can I write a song about this?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a challenge. And that's where Reclusive came from.
I get what you're saying, because I had to have like my first surgery ever
Wow.
a couple of years ago, and I was down for like a month, and I was like, what do I do with my life right now?
Yeah.
And it's one of the most spiritual things that you can go through as a person, especially for someone who's used to just going, like myself, you know? Like I really had to do some work on me, you know, and learning to sit with myself and be happy with myself no matter whatever's going on, right? I learned 3 new languages, or at least I started them.
That's crazy.
You know, you can really make the most of your time.
You
So
really can. It's yeah, it is. It's crazy. Suddenly being it's the most humbling thing. You know, oh my God, what am I doing?
yeah.
What am I going to do after this? Will I ever even stand up again? You start questioning even that. You're like, I think I'm done for life. Like, this might be just me forever. Just watching shows. You're like, I don't want to watch this. Like, what could I possibly?
Were you in the dark? It's crazy when people have to be in the house. We're in the dark for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Turn on the light, okay? I'm just gonna
Please. It's brutal. Yeah, because especially I lived in the house I was in at the time was like basically just a studio apartment.
Oh.
So everything is just in one place. It was going crazy because I was like, this is all I see. I wake up, I exist, I sleep, I order food, I like trudge myself to the door, get some food, sit down, eat that. It's like in a delirious, it was wild.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah, what is happening and how long for? Because it's in London, it's like, you know, in the winter, the night comes really early. So the days were only lasting like 4 hours, it felt like. And then it was just night, dark. I was like, this is mad. What's going on?
Elmiene, obviously, you're somebody I could talk to forever. And every time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rap. It's just like, no, I enjoy
I talk a lot. I have very long answers.
No, I love it though.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you for opening up and being vulnerable. And you can come through anytime. I wish you much success.
Thank you very much.
Y'all be on the lookout for the new album. Check out the single. Amazing talent.
Thank you very much.
It's WBLS.